Hi, this is me, your host, Arun Nick. So, first things first, you're done with, you understand what a confident person is, you understand a confident person does work despite what they feel. A confident person does work and then they get motivated to do more. A confident person always gives at least 10-20% of themselves each and every day instead of, doing 100% on the deadline. They always work on a daily basis. They always do the things that needs to be done despite what they feel. So, what do you think a confident person lives like? Okay? Every confident person who lives in your vicinity, you would see that they have something called a system. They don't just have habits which are random. They don't do this random things on a daily basis. They have a system, they have a schedule, and then they do fulfill what that needs to be done on a daily basis. And that's what you need to understand, that if you're working on the journey to being confident, you first need to work on habits at the atomic level, which is at the micro level. And what do I mean by that? It's like, I realized that I have a very messy room. Okay, I suffer from a messy room syndrome, but I always clean it on a daily basis. So I always thought that, what, I am a clean person. But as I went through my life, I realized that if I maintain the same sloppy habits on a daily basis, then obviously I have to clean my house on a daily basis as well. And this is not convenient. This is not what you want to do on a daily basis. Cleaning your house every single day of your life, despite what you feel, is not fun. What you need to look into, instead of just cleaning your house, you need to look into your habits that actually leads to those unclean home. What you need to do is look into yourself and be like, my room is like dirty, but what caused it to be dirty? Of course, like if you have kids, that's a different thing, but if you live alone, it's a different thing. Like, I realize that sooner or later, I'll be introduced to a new pile of clutter every single time I clean up. Every single day I have to clean up, I have to fold more clothes, and it's annoying. It's annoying to keep my wardrobe clean. It's annoying to keep my wardrobe, in an organized state every single day. And I realize that what I'm doing is, instead of having good habits, I'm actually chasing the same outcome. I have to clean my room on a daily basis, which is the same outcome, because I never changed my system that leads it to be unclean. Well, let me give you one more example to understand this on a deeper level. If you're a student, you're watching it, you want to achieve a lot, and so you would see that during the exam month, just a month before, you see everyone just studying a lot. A week before, a lot of people study. A month before, a lot of people study. They try to gather as content or literature as they possibly can, and so that they can do a lot of questions, and that's what they do. But what they don't realize, that if you do revision a week before your exam, you're not going to get any kind of desirable result, and you're not going to enjoy the process of actually learning. Like, if I live from day to day with my learning process, which means that every single day I'm like living just however I want, and I don't do what needs to be done on a daily basis. I'm not starting that assignment, I'm not starting the project, I'm not completing that exam, I'm not completing this and that. If you do that on a daily basis, if you have a lot of backlogs or a lot of pending work, you will not enjoy learning in general. And even if you enjoy it, you will realize that by the end of the exam week, you will be very exhausted, you will be like very busy, you will be very anxious. That's what causes anxiety actually. If you don't revise with a spaced repetition, or with active recall, or you don't go through learning in a more systemic way, you're always going to be stuck in this anxious scales, or in this anxious cycle of your life, where you're like, I don't know what I'm going to get, I'm very scared, I just hope I pass, I just hope. This is not the way to live. You cannot live this way, I'm telling you, because I live this way. And I want you to know, this is not a humanly possible way of living. This is like so much anxiety. You're like, you are going to die at this point with this much amount of anxiety. So what did I do? Instead of just doing revision a week before, instead of doing revision a month before, I started doing revision with space time. What do I mean? I studied this specific literature a week ago. After a week, I'm going to revise that. After I'm starting a new chapter, I'll start revising what's been done before, so that I never forget what's been already done, and I never go into this anxious cycle of, anxious feeling cycle of self-doubt and being like, I can never do this, I can never get a good marks. You'll never get a good marks because you don't have the system which supports someone who has a good marks. That's it. Okay, you'll always be like running from one hut to another hut and trying to like chase that specific marks, but or try to like do some kind of cheating skill or do some kind of like mind training thing, like, oh my god, I just hope this question comes. Why would you live this way? Why would you live with the thought that I hope this question comes, I hope this question comes, I hope this comes? No, you have to revise on at least a weekly basis after you're done completing a new chapter, because absolutely, let me tell you straight, you have to do it anyway. You have to study that material anyway. So you should at least study, at least even if it's like 10% or even for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, study that. That's much better. Revision for 20-30 minutes is much better than doing a 10-hour one-shot video of what you want to learn and then getting meager marks. That is not how you do. Let me tell you, you have time. You are not out of time. You're not out of focus. You have no system which makes you out of focus and out of time. You have time. You don't focus on things that actually is important, and that's what you need to do. And that's what we're going to cover on the next video. We're going to make a system which is foolproof for people who want to change. It's not for people who are like, I'm just going to do it. It works, it works. No. If you want to make a change, you got to make a change. There's no this and that. Okay? So now, you understood that you are a slave to your habits, which are bad. And you realize this thing that you never really rise to the level of your goals. Having big goals is not bad, but you fall to the level of your system. I want to be a healthy person, but I smoke on a daily basis. I want to be in top 1% of the students, but I never ever take the initiative to actually revise on a daily basis, to give exams, to do projects, to have a deeper knowledge about what I'm learning. And this goes for any subject that you're doing. I'm telling you that. So how do you stick good habits and how do you let go of the bad ones? One, the ultimate form of motivation that to change a habit is when the person becomes the type of person who is this instead of being the person who wants to be this. When I say I want to be someone who is analytical, well, I'm trying to be this person. It's not a part of my identity. But when I say I am an analytical person, I'm a persistent person, I'm a disciplined person, I have to make myself prove that, because that just doesn't comes out of like thin air. You need to prove it to yourself. And what do? You work every single damn day of your life. Small wins. You count the small wins that leads to the bigger wins. I want to be the best mathematician possible in my class. Well, I want to be the best coder in my class. What do? You possibly always check for small wins. Even if you did one question, that's still good. If you're sick and you're like, okay, I'm going to do 2 questions for today, that is still better than doing nothing and just sitting in your home and being like, oh, I'm sick, I'm so sick, I'm so sick. No. You have to work despite how you feel, because you have to give exams, you have to complete this deadline. And it can account for other parts of your life as well. You have to take the accountability. Okay? So when the habit only sticks when it's part of your identity. So instead of, like saying I like to write, I always say I'm a writer. Instead of saying that, I love making videos, I say, well, I am someone who does this, and that's it. You make it a part of your identity. I am a mathematical person. I'm a data analyst. You say it like that. Maybe you're not, but you will, if you want to be something, you will make it happen no matter what. You will make time for things you love. You will make time for it, I'm telling you. So, first thing done, we know why should we work on habits. Second, how is that we feel to the level of our system. Third, now I should work on what is the science of the habit. Habit is a cue-based system. There's 4 systems. Cue, which is the first one, which is suppose when you want to dissociate a bad habit, you see that you have this urge to check your phone. That is a bad habit. You have a craving for it. That is the second step. And then your brain wants to give response to it. Okay, and as soon as you touch that phone and you start checking for the messages or you start the social media scrolling, your brain gets this reward system, which is dopamine. and that's what you need to work through. So if you want to stick a good habit, you have to make sure it's very attractive. Make sure you create an environment for that like habit. If I want to be someone who is, very organized, I need to make sure my room looks organized. I need to make sure my things are where they need to be. If I want to be like top 0.1% of the things, I need to make things a bit more creative, a bit more scientific. I cannot just say I want to be the best version of myself and just do the same sloppy rote learning ways of things, or just, you know just study last minute. That's not how it goes. So one thing, to stick a good habit, you need to have an identity with it, and you have to make it attractive and make it very accessible in itself. Okay, when I say I want to be a good video editor, I have a light here, which is a lamp. It's not a very fancy light. It's not something very fancy, but I have a light, I have a phone, and I have a laptop where I have done my scripting. So that's what makes the thing much more easier to do, instead of me being like, I don't know how to be a creator. I don't know how to be a content creator. You will be a content creator if you have what it needs to be. You have to do scripting first, so that you know what you're going to say. You don't like tower away from things that are important, and you can easily follow through the cues that needs to be told, for people to understand what needs to be done in their life to actually bring a change about their habits. Okay, so that is the thing. Make your habits attractive. How do you do that? We can actually do a comprehensive roadmap to that, and actually we're going to give strategies, real strategies that you can use. So you have to follow the next video. This is the first video, there's the next video, and yeah, we'll also do a video about detachment. So follow me, and I hope the best for you. Thank you so much. I love you. Do the best you can. Happy New Year, and I hope you grow this year. This year you need to change. You cannot be the same. I'm sorry, baby. You gotta change. Bye. And this is my pet elephant. He wants to say you Happy New Year as well. Happy New Year. Okay, it's that. So bye, and I love you.